Good morning, everybody. Sometimes I don't know whether I want to look right at the camera and look cockeyed like we were talking about last week. But
yeah.
So I'm going to look kind of near it. This week we're coming at you in the morning, but it's going to be so we're a little more chipper. You know, it's a nice little transition into our day as well as the episode. But this week we're going into habits to unlearn.
Yeah.
Or what are we calling it?
We called it, well, I don't know. I guess I found this article online and it said 6 habits to unlearn for your mental health.
Mm-hmm.
So we can just go with like unlearning 6 habits.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's it go? Here we go. Oh, fuck. I was going to try and do it. Hit it, Danny.
Hey, before we start though, for all of our Spotify listeners and those who are streaming us, y'all need to go and check our videos up on YouTube because the 80s metal theme fandom here in the podcast is real today.
Yeah.
Coop, you have a little Exodus.
My Exodus Bonded by Blood shirt.
Yeah.
1984, and I think.
And I'm rocking my OG Ghost band t-shirt.
That is a cool t-shirt.
You might have seen Hef. We always talk about Mr. The front man of Metallica. He sometimes wears this shirt.
I think you meant like Hugh Hefner, dude. Yeah. You mean Hetfield. I got you.
Hef, yeah.
Hef.
I don't know what the Hef.
No, you should call him Hef.
Hefe.
With a T first. Hef.
But yeah, Ghost. Nice. They're a newer band. They've been around for like what, 10, 12 years. Yeah, but they sound like there's something from like the 70s, which is
they got the organ.
Yeah.
A lot of fuzz on the guitar.
Yeah. I like them.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, it grew on me. At first I was like, oh, these guys are gonna be fucking hard. And then you hear him singing and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then you're like, the riffs are not so bad, and then the songs are pretty good, and
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty evil sounding.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
I think that's and we've always been more intrigued about like the evil shit. So
yeah. Plus live. I want to see them live because I heard they're really, really good live. My buddy loves them.
Yeah, I seen them maybe 2 times live already.
Nice.
I saw him once with open up for Iron Maiden, and then I saw him here at the Civic in San Jose, and they were the only band. They played for like 2 hours, and they even did like an intermission.
That's cool.
Sets. And I mean, it something I do. I appreciate a band that does like the whole production. Because it's not just like music wise, they also have like the whole costumes, the imagery. They have the they have like the back sets. It looks like it's like a church, when they perform.
Plus, the lead singer has that insane like get up and like corpse paint that he does on his face every night, which is insane.
Yeah. Oh, you know what's crazy? And it kind of ruined it for me, but it's actually a mask.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's a mask.
It's like a latex, really tight one.
Yeah,
probably.
It's like he has like a handful. So every time, like, because their whole thing is there's a new album and they bring in a new singer, a new like pope or whatever, which is honestly is the same dude, but he just changes like into a different. It's very Slipknot, but rather than like, oh, you have a mask, they have it like latex, so it looks like.
But that's even more hardcore than the face paint.
I guess that's true.
Because it's hotter.
That's true.
Yeah. That's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. Take that, Behemoth.
Or Immortal. Wait, can we talk shit about Immortal? No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I was gonna say take that, Dark Funeral. But,
Dark Funeral?
Or sorry, not Dark Funeral. Dark Turn.
Does Dimmu Borgir count?
Yeah, it should.
Okay, cool.
Or take that, Cradle of Filth. There you
go. There's some riffs I thought were cool, but I can't get it behind Danny Filth singing.
I never could get into them. They look
No,
evil as fuck. I can't. I listen to like one of their songs for like 30 seconds, and I'm like, I can't right now.
no, it's too
I'm,
much.
and I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody out there who's like a fan of Cradle of Filth.
And
I'm
I'm
sure they're
not.
good. I'm sure they're good. It's just not. I'm not into it. Not my cup of tea.
Yeah, and I'm not sorry.
Unlike um my Pete's Coffee inside my Big Bad Wolf
Nice.
mug.
Which is racist, Danny. Just kidding. All right. We're
Is
just going to
it?
move on.
Is it really?
I don't know. Old cartoons are all racist. You know that.
I mean, that's true.
I mean, I won't. I'm being sarcastic, but I'll just say it to make it sound like I care about cartoons corrupting our lives.
You know what? They don't even show the old school cartoons no more. Like they don't show like Tom
not
and
on regular
Jerry
TV. You gotta go. You gotta look for it, but they're there. You can get the good ones.
It just sucks, dude. Remember, like I don't know, kids. I guess kids are not into it. They're into. I do like SpongeBob. I'm not even gonna front on that.
I get my kid into old school shit. Like I got Vincent into like a lot of '90s cartoons. Like he likes Tales from the Crypt Keeper. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then he likes, dude, the 1981 Spider-Man is like his new jam.
Really?
Which is on Disney Plus. I think it's the original Spider-Man show, the cartoon, but it's tight because Doctor Doom's in a lot of it.
Yeah.
And Doctor Doom's pretty funny. He's pretty cool. He's a good villain.
Yeah.
I never really watched a lot of Spider-Man as a kid. Like I watched it here and there, but I never got super into Spider-Man. So it's kind of cool to follow his story a little more.
I just every time I see something like that from like the 1980s and 90s, I'm afraid to rewatch it because we grew up, idolizing these cartoons and these TV shows and sitcoms, and then like you see them as they're older, and you're like, man, this is fucking horrible. Like, why the fuck did I find this entertaining?
A good comparison to give you ease would be like, okay, think of Scooby-Doo. Do you like Scooby-Doo?
Never really got into it.
Well,
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, like I guess I watch more 70s cartoons than you, but
yeah,
I like 70s cartoons because they're just as funny as 90s cartoons. The drawing's just a little different, but everything's exactly pretty much the same. So, I mean, I don't know. I would say give it a shot. It's still good. If you like Marvel, it's not boring because I know a lot of people are like, oh, things are older, they're boring. And I'm like, yeah, some shit now is boring as fuck. But I mean, I don't know. I can watch something. I feel like people now, I'm not saying you're like this, but I feel like people nowadays for sure are very like, they need things immediate. Like if they don't have action or whatever they want right in the first 3 minutes, they're going to be like, what is taking so long? Like, have you heard of setup?
Yeah. And that always bothered me. Like they're like, it's 5 minutes into the movie. Like, this is boring.
Yeah.
Like, well, what the fuck do
you don't even know anything about anything yet.
I don't like, what the hell do you expect them to do? Like, chill, like let the movie build up.
People are getting spoiled with these. The problem is people are getting spoiled with these A24 films. No, I don't know, but I did just watch Midsummer, and that movie was brutal.
Really?
Yeah.
Good brutal or bad brutal?
Oh, good brutal. I enjoyed it, but it was fucking brutal. Like not a movie you want to watch with your niece at all.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, but. Not that you watch horror movies with her, but that's definitely not one you can watch. It's A24, so it's like the same people did like Hereditary, Vivarium. All that creepy shit.
Yeah.
I didn't like Vivarium, but Midsummer was cool, but I don't know if I'd rewatch it.
You know which movie I just saw last night? And this was on, and I posted on Twitter, is I saw the Black Widow movie last night.
Cool. Give me your without spoilers. Give me what you can say about your take on it. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
I'm indecisive about it yet. I thought it sucked at first.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Like last night, I'm like, yeah, it's not so good. To be honest, like I'm not gonna rewatch. I probably won't rewatch it again.
Yeah,
but somebody did put up a good point, like, well, it's kind of like from the standalone movies is one of the better ones. Like they're like, it's better than Thor, and I'm like, well, yeah, Thor 1 and 2 kind of sucked. So
I don't remember them that well. I liked the Captain America's probably almost the best. I think
I like the Captain America ones were a little bit better.
Like Civil War was fucking cool.
Oh, Civil War was badass.
And even Winter Soldier was good.
So, Black Widow takes the event between after Civil War, but before
like Infinity War and all that shit.
Yeah, before the Age of
Ultron.
or what? Yeah, it was just the first one.
Well, Age of Ultron, I think, was the second Avengers.
Okay, so this is after Civil War.
Probably
it's before the one where like the dude snaps his fingers and like everybody disappears.
Yeah, Infinity War.
Infinity War. There you go.
Thanos.
There you go. Sorry, Marvel fans out there. You know, freaking send us hate email. That's fine.
Actually, do please, and nudes.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Male and females.
Yeah, we don't care. We just won't look at the male ones.
Yeah, we actually do prefer the male ones. Anyways, no, but I feel like it's I think you said it Marvel spoiled us because the last couple of ones they were releasing were like super good,
and they included every superhero in it.
Yeah, it's freaking ridiculous.
It's like having like an all-star team, and then you're just like, oh, okay, well, I guess the Bucks are gonna win this year. It's fucked up. No offense. Exactly. No offense to Milwaukee at all.
Milwaukee.
I love Jeffrey Dahmer. Isn't he from Milwaukee?
That's exactly what happens.
They got a long list of. Sorry.
No, but yeah, check it out. Don't pay for it. I'll say
don't pay
wait
for
until it comes up. Don't pay for it.
I honestly bless your soul for paying $29.99, Danny, but I wasn't willing to do it either.
I didn't. My sister-in-law did.
Oh, okay, no, I'm not judging anybody, but I'm saying like that's good because that's commitment. I like her character. Obviously, Scarlett Johansson's hot as fuck, but like,
yeah,
I still was like, no, not $30 hot though.
You're like,
let's be real.
Like, I don't know.
This could be PG-13 content. I'm not paying $30 for that.
Yeah, they drop some bullshit. They like do some bullshit. You know, they drop
like blurred out private parts, like it's Japanese.
No, I didn't do anything like that.
No, I'm just kidding. I
personally, you know which movie? And I was talking to my my sister's boyfriend. We were like, dude, like, yeah, I think like Marvel just spoiled us with the last couple ones because even like I look back and I see like the Winter the Black Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh, the movie, the show,
the show, and that was rough to see it, man. Like that was so like
it was. I didn't watch it. I didn't start it. It was hard.
It was hard.
That's funny.
Like it really didn't pick up until like the third or fourth. Talk about like the character build up.
Right.
It took a while to like. All right, the fuck is it? Like what the fuck is going on? But I mean, since the beginning, there was like a lot of boom and a lot of action, but it was hard. WandaVision also really didn't pick up until like mid-season, and there's only like 6 episodes, so I'm not sure what the hell.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not a fucking critic. What the fuck am I talking about?
It doesn't matter. We're all critics. When the minute you have an Instagram, you're a critic. When you have Twitter,
I have
Facebook.
A Yelp. Okay.
Oh, dude, you're for sure. I am a Yelper.
I am an influencer. No, I'm not. Please don't.
You know what's funny is the term Yelp isn't even technically positive. And Yelp turned into this negative, like, bitchy fest. But when you think about what a Yelp is, it's a cry for help.
Well,
so
not only that, Yelp is people. It gave a platform for people to complain.
That's what I mean, though. See, like, if it was called something more positive, and like, I'm not saying they should change the name and it's going to change everything, but it's just funny to think about. Like, they designed the whole thing, and it's like, who Yelps to tell you there's good food?
Yeah.
Don't people usually just tell you that? They're not just like, hey, it's really good here. Hey, it sucks.
Yeah. No.
Hey, the waiter's weird and doesn't look like. Yeah.
Every time I go to Yelp and they're like, oh, there's only 3 reviews,
4 stars
or 3 stars.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what I like to do is I look at the comments
Yeah.
and I look at the 1-star reviews.
Yeah, like
And
the
I like
Lone
to,
Stars.
yeah, and then I like to see when was like last time somebody reviewed like a 1-star. If it's like one bad review like every 4 months, Jack in the Box screws up my order all the time, and I'm still going there.
Yeah. No, I agree. You gotta take it with a grain of salt.
And then like really see what they're fucking complaining. Is it the food? Is it because like, oh, I said no pico de gallo and they brought the pico de gallo?
Yeah.
Like, really? Come on.
Go eat a ham sandwich, Ethel. You know what I mean? Sorry for all my Ethels out there.
Yeah. So that's my thing. It's always like, well, what are you really complaining about? Like,
it's true. I mean, it's good to like check it out, but then it's like, it's like everything else. I don't really read the reviews. I just kind of look at the rating and then kind of check it out. But then I'm like, I kind of go word of mouth for my reviews now, to be honest with you. Kind of going word of mouth.
What I do appreciate about Yelp, though, is their I like the pictures. I like to see the food.
Yeah.
How it looks like.
That's true.
So I do appreciate those Yelpers who are posting pictures.
I want to make like a fake Yelp review with my hand punched. Like you could clearly tell a hand punched at the burger, and you're just like, I can't believe they delivered this to me, my table like this. And then it has like burger meat in my hand still. Yeah.
You know what though? I should get up on my fucking high horse because I did write a 1-star review about a place, but the place was really like shitty.
Well, then it deserved it.
Yeah, it was. I'm gonna call him out. I don't care. It was Pizza Chicago. Remember that spot?
Yeah.
Downtown?
Which one? The one downtown?
Well, the one in downtown San Jose closed down.
Oh, that's right. I think you said that.
Yeah, so the open one was like a kitchen where you just order and you just pick it up, or like they deliver from like Uber and whatever.
Oh yeah.
But I just didn't like it because I'm like, this is not deep dish. It wasn't deep dish what they're pushing.
It's like a pan pizza.
Like, yeah, it's like a pan pizza, and they're like, oh, this is deep dish. I'm like, no. And then when like I called and I'm like, hey, I think you guys gave me the wrong pizza. I ordered deep dish, and it looks like you just gave me pan. Like, oh no, that is our deep dish. I'm like, really? That's false advertisement.
That's worth the 1-star.
And
especially when it's got Chicago in the name.
And the dudes are like, yeah. And I'm just like, I mean, it was decent pizza, but for what the price they were charging for this, I'm like, yeah, I would have like rather go somewhere else for the price and would have probably got same quality, if not even better. Less bread also. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It just pissed me off. And then like when I try, first off, I never talked to anybody through like Pizza Chicago, and I'm like, yo, well, like this isn't. They're like, oh, the best I can offer you, dude, is like, you know, I can give you like $10 off, and I'm like, the fuck is that? And like, that's not even gonna cover like one pizza. Like,
yeah,
almost not that I want my money back. It's just like, don't call it deep dish and give me non-deep dish shit.
Yeah,
like
that's whack. There's a really good pizza place by my house in Tracy. They're new. They're called Hella Pie.
Uh-huh.
And we ate there yesterday.
Ooh,
we've eaten there before. They always sell out. But their crust, their dough is like some of the best I've ever had. Usually I'm not a crust guy. Like I'll eat the crust, but if it's not that great, I might leave the crust. And I know to some people that's sacrilege. But if the crust sucks, I'm not eating it. And I'll fucking dude, the crust is amazing. You know? Exactly. It's just, oh cool, I have shitty bread right now. No. It's got to be good crust because I'm a fucking snob when it comes to pizza, but not enough of a snob not to put pineapple on it. I still like pineapple on my pizza.
Oh, I love fucking pineapple on pizza.
I don't give a shit.
I'll fight anybody.
Exactly.
I mean, I won't fight you.
No, I will. I won't fight hard, but I'll pull punches a little.
I'll back it up.
Yeah.
I'll back it up hard. Last thing about pizza. Since you are familiar with the city of Oakland and that area, I think it's called Pizza Alexander or Alexander's Pizza.
I've heard of it, and I've heard really good things, and I have not tried it.
They do deep dish also there. I have been known to drive all the way to
Oakland,
place the order in San Jose because they do take like half an hour.
And then by the time you get there,
it's ready, and I just tell them, hey, I'm gonna drive it back to San Jose. So they put like extra layers of like paper foil and
to
stuff
keep
to
it
keep
hot.
it warm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I take my like my backpacks and my bags that are like insulated to keep food
Put it in
like
there.
warm also. Oh yeah, so it
Yeah.
you know, obviously it's not like piping hot when it gets to like San Jose, but it's still like warm enough where it's like
you don't sneak a road piece.
no,
Because it's too big, huh?
You
it's
would
too
totally
thick.
fucking need.
I would. But it'd be tough. Okay, but if I'm bringing it somewhere, I can't because then it looks like a Pac-Man pizza. Then that's ghetto.
Yeah,
hey guys, I brought you a
step it
pizza. It's like half eaten.
Where's the rest of it?
Fat ass.
But it's really, really good. So I do recommend that place. It was recommended to me by one of my friends. So I'm very, very excited. I'm very happy that I went with his suggestion.
Pizza Alexander.
It was delish. I think it's called Pizza Alexander.
Well, it is now. I'll tell you that much.
Something like. Again, someone from Oakland's gonna call me. Danny's wrong about that again. Maybe it's like Patrick's. I don't know.
Pizza Alexander might be
right.
It
was good, bro.
Sounds right.
Zachary's,
not the same.
Idiot.
Zachary's Pizza.
Zachary's.
I've heard of
there
that, but I've very much heard of it.
Zachary's. Cool. I knew it was some guy with some dude who uses like the proper name of it, but everybody calls him Zach. Or
say
Alex
it sounded like some white guy. You just didn't care. All right, just say what you want to say. Skylar's Pizza.
No, I don't want to disrespect the person.
No, I know.
Skylar's. Aiden's Pizza.
Aiden is the worst. I'm sorry for people who have Aiden kids. I'm sorry. I'm just venting. Don't take what I'm saying serious. This is just bullshit.
I like how you're like Aiden's the worst. I'm sorry. I had to say it.
Because I think I know people with those names and I feel bad, but I'm not. It's not on the top of my list. I'll just put it that way. I should have said that, not said it's the worst. Could have been 65th on the list. I didn't have to say it's out of 67.
Well, somebody said my name is basic before.
Danny?
So
Daniel's basic? Can I ask a question?
Apparently Daniel's basic.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
But I'm going to ask if you can answer it first. Can you tell me what the name of that person is, or you don't want to? Only for the sense of clowning on their name, not to identify who they are. But if it's someone too close, then it's okay. Don't worry about it. I can tell by your facial expression you don't want to.
It's my partner.
All right, well, I don't want to do that. All right, never mind.
It's my partner.
Okay, I don't want to talk shit about it.
I can tell you off air.
Yeah. No, it's cool.
I can tell you off air.
All right, it's good. I have your back so much. I was ready to roast somebody, but now I don't want to do it. I feel bad. All right.
Yeah,
we're good.
It's okay. You'll meet my girlfriend one day, and I'll be like,
I won't roast her.
Hey, Coop, this is so and so, and she thinks my name is Basic.
Oh, and then I just come out. Oh, snap my knuckles. Okay.
Oh.
Well,
okay. Yeah. Well,
here we go.
Look up your name, and then we'll see how popular it was.
Well, I just looked it up, and your name, according to the Anglo-Saxon dictionary, means I don't know.
Yeah, she's like, I'm sorry, but your name is really Basic. I'm like, why the fuck is my name Basic? Like, because it's a common name. I'm like,
okay.
That's exactly my reaction. I'm like,
is her name common? You don't have to say what it is, but is her name common?
Not really. It's pretty Mexican.
You should just give her shit for not having a common name. Be like, oh, sorry, we can't all be exclusives like you, you know, boutique names. Ooh. Snapple cap name. Sorry.
Sorry for having a boutique name.
Yeah, boutique. It's like a limited drop. Wow.
Sorry I have the Yeezys of names.
You know, maybe I'm defensive because I have a more basic name in Ryan.
Yeah. You know what though, Ryan? And we're gonna get to the subject. I'm sorry, but as a teacher, 2 years ago, I had a class with like 10 different Ryans.
That's what I'm saying.
10, like it was Brian, Brian and Ryan.
Ugh, I hate it. People always call me Brian, and I'm like, my name's not fucking Brian. I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like altogether, there was a total of like 10 students out of like 30. So 1/3 of my class was named either Brian or Ryan in different spelling variations of that.
Follow-up
And
question.
I was just like,
yeah,
go for it.
Follow-up question.
No,
Were all the Ryans the same ethnicity? Really?
Yes.
That's surprising.
Yes.
I feel like it is a pretty diverse name. I feel like it's not just white people.
It's multicultural.
But they were all white?
Nah, no. Come on, bro. I
Really?
teach in East San Jose. Yeah.
I don't know that many. I only know one, and he's half. You're telling me they're all Mexican?
I
No,
shouldn't
Asian.
assume that they're all Mexican. I shouldn't assume they're all
Okay,
Mexican.
whatever. Latino. Let's be more broad. Fine. I'm just saying for the sake Latin Americans.
You know what though? It was a mixture between Latinos and Asian Americans.
That makes sense because Ryan's. I'm generalizing my own name, but Ryan's World is a little Asian kid. So there are Asian Ryans out there.
Yeah,
they exist.
Yeah. I know also because my niece loves Ryan's World.
Yeah,
and that dude's making what $22 million a fucking year.
Correction, his parents.
That's true.
Making. No, but see, that's what creeps me out about those child things because I'm like, the parents are just pimping them out, dude. Plus, their parents, me and Steph, Ryan's World's cool and the toys are cool, but we can't stand his parents. We think they're weirdos.
Oh,
they're just.
Oh my God,
I don't
Ryan.
like. Yeah, I don't like how they play into it. I'm like, look, okay.
Yeah.
If this was like a dressed up production, like big comfy couch, that's one thing. But like, you're pretending. I mean, you're not pretending. You're saying this is our house. I don't like parents that put on baby voices with their kids.
Yeah,
that creeps me the fuck out, and it's gross. It's just no one wants to hear that. It's like if they're babies, that's fine. But like, dude, when they're like 6 and 7 years old, dude.
I think also. I just hope they don't Britney him or Kelly Cogan him.
Yeah, I mean it's a possibility, man.
Some
Michael
sort of
Jackson
laws or something where,
Corey Feldman.
I hope they don't screw him over.
I mean, they're not all bad, but most of them are. Even Beyonce's dad, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They're all kind of fucked. That's the way it goes. But I think it's because, like I said, dude, it starts with a seed, right? And that seed was pimping out their kid.
Yeah.
So they were already willing to sell their soul for their success. Like that's already on the table. And people act like, oh, they turned into monsters. I'm like, no, I just think they always were. And the success finally showcased it more,
Yeah. It's kind of like, it goes back to, I always see this. I'm not sure how real it is, but on Billy Madison, where like that scene where they're playing, dodgeball, like Adam Sandler was really full on swinging at the kids, like super hard.
That's hilarious.
And according to the theory, like Adam Sandler, like legit told their parents, like, "Hey, for this scene, I'm gonna be hitting them like with this," and the parents were perfectly fine with it.
I would have been cool.
Adam's like, dude, like Adam's like, dude, it just shows like parents don't give a shit about their kids; they just want to make that money. So he's like, all right, well, fuck, I'm gonna do it.
That's hilarious. That's so funny though. They're like, what if your kid was being a pain in the ass? You're like, hey, we're gonna go to the zoo today, and then
hey, you're gonna do a movie today.
And then you're like, Uncle Adam's gonna be throwing some fucking real hard ones at you today. you're all, hey, don't let up.
Add 5 more miles to that.
Pitch it up. Go random. This kid looks cocky.
Yeah, throw him with that sinker. Out there. Parents out there giving him tips. All right, you want to go with the 3-finger hold?
Yeah, there's a catcher and he's throwing fucking signals.
He's throwing signs and shit. Oh. Whew.
Bring the heat. Adam.
With that being said, let's go ahead and
6 habits to unlearn for mental health. Yeah.
Well, should we go into our dive right into our subject today?
I think that's probably a good idea.
Yeah. Sorry for the rambling, guys. Sorry. So, I was Instagramming it because that's what I do. And I saw this graphic. It says 6 habits to unlearn for your mental health. And the reason I'm looking at this was because that's where I have my notes. So just don't think I'm,
Not listening.
and I was seeing it and I'm like, well, let's dive into it. That'll be interesting. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say what those 6 habits are.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go ahead and say if we agree or disagree. And the audience, you're more than welcome to participate as well. Do you agree, disagree?
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean to you? What does this habit mean to you? Because we interpret things differently.
Right.
I can say something and I know in my mind it sounds something, but the recipient of that might interpret whatever I said differently.
Right.
How can we unlearn it? Or like, what if it's something that we've done, like what is that we helped us to unlearn that habit? Or what we can do maybe to unlearn it. And if we don't know, we just don't know. It is what it is. Which aspect of it, if we don't agree with it, which aspect of it we don't agree with? And finally, why is it hard to unlearn these habits?
And yep.
So, with that being said, are you ready to begin?
And the last one was, and is it hard to unlearn it, you said?
Or why is it hard to unlearn
Why is it hard? Got it.
Yeah. Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a fart break.
Party. Tell me why.
I'm ready, Dano.
Number 1. One habit that we have to unlearn for mental health is relying on others to make you feel fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with that. Except that I'll probably change fulfilled sounds good. Because I was interpreted more as to make you feel happy.
I think that's fulfilled. I think fulfilled encompasses happiness.
So yeah, I think I agree with that. I think I agree with that. Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with it. It's a hard one.
It definitely. I think that was one of the reasons that like really like shut me down to like my whole freaking craziness. Mm-hmm. That I came to a realization that I was relying on my validation, maybe my happiness and everything on somebody else. And that's not fair. It's not fair for the other person.
No,
it's not. It's not. So, and I guess that's also what it means to me. It's just like making yourself feel validated based on somebody else. That person's connection to you, or that person's relationship to you, or
mm-hmm.
Whatever. And yeah, like I think for me it was hard to unlearn because it's just the way we're programmed, or the way I'm programmed, I should say. It's just super hard to unlearn it. And I think like one thing that really helped me to unlearn it, or unlearn that habit, or stop doing that habit. I mean, I'm still learning, but for me, it's just like doing things on my own, finding myself, if you will, which is like, I know it sounds super cliche and sounds super dumb, but it's true, dude. You have to do things on your own that you think you enjoy to kind of confirm if you enjoy it or not.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's because we're not in touch with our own happiness, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I relate to that as well.
Too. Yeah.
I think, yeah, and I think the only thing I would bring to this would be, it's definitely relationship based and not even intimate, but it could just be even like, family, or I feel like, with a mother, you expect them to like heal or comfort, nurture, and that is kind of a mother's job. But there are times when, mom's overwhelmed, dude. So, I mean, same with your girlfriend or your wife, like, we want them to be our healers, we do. As men, as women, they want stability and they want comfort knowing, like, we're providing and we're protecting them. Like, and that's just true. regardless of feminism or whatever. That's true. And
Mm-hmm.
and men's aspect is like we want to feel loved, dude. Like straight up, like it's one of our biggest fallbacks as men. Like we need that, and I feel like that's part of that. Like we're like, okay, like I don't feel good. Why aren't you fucking And we're not saying this out loud, but we're like thinking it, and it's silly because we don't understand we're doing it because it's not a literal thing. It's more like subconscious, but. My issue with dealing with it, biggest problem is how it affects my mood. I actually get kind of bitchy, I'll be kind of like, like, do you care kind of attitude almost. Like I'm not saying it, but I think that's the vibe that I'm putting off when I get frustrated, when my expectations aren't fulfilled and stuff like that,
And I mean, and that's valid, but like, one thing also that we need to take into consideration is like, is that fair for the other person?
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
No, I absolutely don't think it's fair. Especially like, which is great. If you don't mind me moving on to the next point.
Perfect.
If you never made that clear, if you never like, hey, my happiness relies on you, so don't leave me because I will no longer be happy. Like that's fucking strike 1 and 2. First off, and if anybody ever tells you that, there's deeper fucking issues to that.
Oh, if anyone gives you an ultimatum like that, it's strike 3.
That's strike 3, and that person needs to go get help.
Get help, because you can't be in a relationship when you're that unstable. If you're relying solely on someone else to make you happy, because that's not even what number 1 is saying. But if you're relying solely on someone else to make you happy, yeah, you need help.
You need help.
Big
and
time.
That's where number 2 comes in. The second habit from this is being unclear in how you communicate.
Mm-hmm.
So for this one, when I read this, being unclear on how you communicate, it's just like not being straightforward. I think it's just like trying to beat around the bush or trying to be more like, not saying what you really want to say, of fear of hurting the other person's feelings. And I think I agree to an extent.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you have to be clear on how you communicate and what you want, and really like make sure everybody's in the same page.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to avoid like very deep conversations or avoiding communication of your feelings, like that's just going to create way more problems down the road.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just the only way I will say you have to learn this is just saying what you mean, and be ready to expect a reaction to it. It might be a positive reaction, might be a negative reaction, but you know what? It's a reaction. And if your biggest fear is like this person might, that something might happen because you communicated yourself, like, then so be it. Because I feel like you need to put yourself first.
Yeah.
You always have to put yourself first.
And by doing that, it sounds selfish, but by doing that, you're really helping out. Because if you put yourself first with your communication, your partner's going to see that and understand what you're saying. And it's not going to come off selfish. It's going to come off like thorough and thought out, instead of just like ass jargon,
Yeah.
You just throw out there because you're panicking or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. And I think these first 2 are probably the hardest, because I feel like communication is ever evolving. No one's good. I would say no one's necessarily great. There are a few great communicators out there in the world, but I feel like that's it should be such a high regard for because I think it's one of the most challenging things in the world. Communication isn't just language. It's body language. It's expressions. It's tone. So it's a whole discipline really of like conveying how you feel to other people, which I feel like is easier in your 30s. You're a lot more
Yeah.
confident to be like, okay, I'm an idiot, or I fucked up. Here's my downfall, and this is what I want to change. Whereas in your 20s, I think you're focusing a little more on everyone else, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that's a hard one to unlearn. But no, I wouldn't say it's a hard one to unlearn. I think it's just getting in the groove of communicating. But disciplining it too, where you're not just like a fucking chatterbox. You know?
Yeah. Absolutely, dude. Um. Yeah, man. Think. Man, I think you nailed it with that one.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next
I
one.
felt pretty good.
Um. Avoiding how you really feel
Mm-hmm.
is the third one, and I think it goes hand in hand with the other one. Like, again, if you're not communicating how you really feel about a situation or how it's going on, it's just you're masking it and you're just pushing aside. And I can see where it can be harder. Like you were just saying, it's definitely harder like in your earlier years. But I think once you hit 30, you just stop caring. You realizing, well, at least for us, we're realizing that we have a voice now. We're no longer this man-childs or anything like that. We're
Yeah.
adults with adult problems and like responsibilities.
Right.
So we have to like talk about certain things that are bothering us.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't, it's just going to create, it kind of all goes down the line. They all kind of, it's interesting because all of them, they all are related,
Yeah.
but they're so different. Like each aspect is different.
Yeah.
So,
Which is cool.
yeah. And I completely agree with this one also. Like, it's really bad to avoid how you really feel. Like, if you're just masking it, there's only so much. I know this is like a stupid analogy, but it makes so much sense. Like, imagine you're keeping all of these feelings like inside a teapot,
Yeah.
and it's just boiling. Essentially, it's gonna boil to a point. It's gonna get so much. It's gonna boil to a point where it's either gonna spill over or it's gonna release some steam,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where it might feel like you're attacking this person out of nowhere. You've been holding in, it's all these grudges kind of come out.
Yeah.
And that's, again, maybe for not being unclear on how you want to communicate and stuff like that. Like it all goes. So I think this is also another thing that we have to work on. Just being honest. I think that's the best way to like unlearn this habit is just being honest with the person. And if you're seeing this person from like a relationship stand,
Mm-hmm.
like if you being honest is shaking up the relationship, maybe the relationship wasn't going to survive that long.
Yeah.
And if it's like in the workplace or something, same thing. Like if you communicate how you really feel at work and what's going on, what things are bothering you, things are working for you, things are not working for you. Like if you don't communicate with that, then I don't know. I feel like it just creates more problems down the line, and it might have a negative impact, definitely a negative impact on the workplace.
Oh yeah. Because that's part of the morale. Yeah, I feel like that with work a lot, and I mean, I notice it with at home. Like if I'm in a bad mood or I'm mad about something, and you're in that mode where you're like, I don't want to talk about it, but then you're still kind of like just being aggro and like punishing the person. Like that's definitely kind of goes with 2 and 3,
Yeah.
But then at work, it's tough too. I feel like it's a good relatable one for work because I feel like even if you're a balanced person, I feel like this is a common issue with people in their management, is avoiding telling them how they feel about management and what they're doing. I feel like we talk about all the time how it's important to tell our loved ones how we feel. I feel like I don't feel like there's enough of information about us dealing with this in the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to look into it too, because there's all these pamphlets and great stuff about how to deal with stuff at home. But look, let's be honest, guys, we're out and working more than we're probably at home.
Yeah.
We're dealing with coworkers more than we're seeing our loved ones. It's a sad truth.
Yeah.
So, this is the environment we're probably dealing with more, unless you're working from home.
Yeah.
But even then, you're dealing with management via Zoom and all that. And it's like, how, I feel like it's the same way. You might not have the freedom of expression with your boss that you do with your significant other or your cousin, but I still feel like there needs to be a level of trust where you can convey and communicate to them as well. You don't understand maybe or agree with what's going on, and maybe you could explain it to me so I get a better understanding, because this workflow doesn't make sense to me. And like stuff like that, instead of just being like, oh, okay, yes, boss, I'm just gonna do, whatever you need, which kind of goes into our next one.
Yeah. Is saying yes to every request you get.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we talked this before in previous episodes where we're like, being a yes man or a yes,
Yeah.
always saying yes for fear of like coming off as, whatever. But yeah, saying yes to every request is just listen, you're a resource.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember anything from economy class, which I mean, I don't think nobody ever remembers anything from economy class. But like you can only stretch out resources until there's none,
Right.
until it's unsustainable. So if you're being stretched out, 20 different places at the same time, and just constantly saying yes and yes, your resource or you are just going to drain yourself, and you're going to run yourself thin. And then it goes back, for me, it's just like putting yourself first. And you know what? And it goes back to what all the rest of the things we're saying. Like, yeah, you have to avoid, you have to say how you really feel about a situation.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be clear communication with that one.
Right.
And you cannot always rely on a person who's going to say yes to help you out with every situation. Like, that person also has like life going on. You have to put yourself first, dude.
And I can kind of give an example of that too.
Yeah, go for it.
It's more professional than it is personal. But so I was calling locksmiths like crazy last week. I locked my key, broke my fob and my key, so I had to get it copied. My battery also died, so it was this crazy conundrum of the car alarm's going off. The only way to bypass it is to use the lock-unlock button on my door.
Yeah.
But the battery was dead, so once they jumped the battery, the alarm was still going off. So you can't cut a key when it's in theft mode.
Oh, God.
So the only way to disable the alarm is using the lock-unlock button on my driver's side door, which went out last month.
Uh-huh.
So the locksmith was like, I can't help you. You're probably going to have to go. But the cool thing is he said no, but he gave me options of people that could help me out.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is the advice not countering, but to go along with this point, which is saying yes to every request you should get is not a good thing, because there's value in no. It tells the person that they're not going to get the best service that they probably thought they were, because they're asking you because they trust you. And it's good to have a person that trusts you also let you know, look, I'm not going to put you in your best position, but I do know someone who can. And I feel like that's the proper way to attack that, instead of people being like, well, I don't want to say no to people. Well, you can still say no and be helpful, And you're also letting that person know, hey, maybe you should consider someone else. You don't even have to do what I'm saying, but at least tell them no, because you're not wasting their time.
Yeah, and not wasting money.
Or that
for the service. Because I was just thinking, my brother had to get his windshield, his front windshield replaced a couple of months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So they call somebody. The guy's like, "Oh yeah, I can do the job or whatever. I'll come over." He changed it. Well, once that happened, he realized that it's like the panels that go on the side of the windshield, like it wasn't all there. So my brother's like, "Hey man, what this going on?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I broke one of these. Like I broke something." And my brother's like, "Well, weren't you gonna fucking tell me? Like what the hell?" Like,
yeah.
He's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "I'll go in there and replace it, but you have to help me. It was 50-50. Like I'm gonna have to charge you or help me." My brother's like, "Whatever, dude, just get the job done." So the dude did a complete shit show on it. He's just fucking like glued the whole hell of it. And then like last week, the panel started like sticking out. My brother's like, dude, I have to replace that. So we looked it up, replaced it. I was helping him. And you can just tell it was fucking glued everywhere. Like you can just tell like he glued the packing together or like the wash. It was just a shit show. And like we're over here cursing up a storm because there's more money that now is being spent. Is our time trying to fix this when it should have been done in the beginning? And at the end of the day, the guy should have just been, upfront, be like, hey, you know what? This is a newer model. This might happen.
That's not even honest work, though. Like you're charging people and you're not doing honest work.
Yeah,
that's fraud, man. You're basically stealing money from people at that point.
Yeah, and dude, like you said, if you don't know how to do something, or if it's like beyond, or you don't feel comfortable doing a job or doing something, just say it.
Just say no.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you know what? I would love to help you out. I can't with this one because this is the examples. This is my recommendations.
Like, you want to be a soldier? Say no. You want to be John Rambo? Give them an option. There you go.
That's true.
Because these people are crazy. Some people come up with these demands and. Look, it's like hostage demands. Sometimes you just got to be like, kill the hostage. Then fuck you. We're not giving you $10 million.
You've been seeing Speed way too much.
Dennis Hopper, R.I.P.
Rest in peace, sir. Next one. Next one. Not taking or asking for help when you need it. I think that's one of those things also that might have been true. When we're more, definitely unlearn that habit. Like ask for help, the sooner the better. But I feel like that's something it's harder for men to do when they're like in their early 20s,
Yeah.
It's hard because you just think you're invincible. You think, oh no, it's not me. I'm not fucking weak or whatever. This is macho masculinity thing. I think now that we're older, we're like, no, shit, we need to go do something about this. Like, this ain't right.
Yeah. Well, but I like the way they worded it. It says, when you need it. That's a really important part of that statement. Because I feel like people don't try enough either.
That's true.
They give up way too soon, and then they ask for help. Because even with my kid, like when Vincent he's struggling, I'm like, okay, dude, but why don't you try it again? Keep trying. Because the more you try, the better you're going to get. I can help you, but that's not going to make you better.
Yeah.
You can learn from me. I'll show you what to do, but I'm not going to keep doing it because you're not benefiting from that.
Yeah.
You're just going to expect me to do things for you all the time. And that's not going to happen when you go to school. I'm not going to be around, but definitely, that's why it's like when you need it, because I feel like you don't want to be that head case either. That's like, hello, teacher, that shit drives you crazy. Like, did you listen to what I told you to do, though?
No, and I think I think you do have to like sincerely try different things. Read the directions, dude. As a person, as a teacher, like I can tell you, like I whenever I put directions like on the worksheet, I try to be as clear as possible. Like highlight, like this is the assignment. And this is how you will succeed in this assignment. Like, do this, make sure it's this. And you'll be surprised how many students now, or maybe it was always the case, but now I'm just realizing it now. But you'll be surprised how many like people like skip the whole instructions. You're like, oh, I don't get it. Like, well, did you read the instructions? Did you read what you had to do and you did not have to do, or how to be successful? Did you see the example I left? Like.
Well, dude, that's not new because we were dealing with that when we were in school.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were either doing it or hearing the teacher tell someone else that was doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the time.
And I think that's one thing also that we learn as we get older. Like, we try to figure it out for ourselves.
Yeah.
Rather than, like, just going directly for the source.
Yeah. I think we've gotten better.
Yeah.
Some people are crazy and they're just like, I need help all the time. And then some people are the inverse of that, where they're like, I can do it myself. Like the dude in the wheelchair in Scary Movie.
Yeah, yeah. Why don't you give me a standing
Yeah, exactly. Use my good grab my strong hand. But I also think, God, I went on a tangent and I fucked myself up. I fucking lost my train of thought. Damn you, scary movie.
Part 2.
Yeah, part 2. Anyway, there probably was a point there, but we can move on.
Yeah, but I feel like that one, like you need to be comfortable and be ask for help, seek help, ask for help. It doesn't make you weak, it doesn't make you dumb, it doesn't make anything. Ask for help when you honestly feel lost.
Yeah.
When you're completely lost, you feel like, all this, you try everything, you try different avenues, you just don't understand the situation or something. Ask for help.
Yeah. Then it makes sense.
Figure it out, like ask for help. You know what though? I would change asking for help to asking for guidance.
Yeah. Because there is a difference, because help is a little more desperate.
Yeah.
I got you on that. Guidance, because it might not always be a dire situation, like you said.
Not only that, but like I feel like whenever you're dealing with anything mental health, like I feel like, oh, you need help. Okay, here, have this pill.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Where if you find guidance, like, sure, you might still need medication. Like, it might be like some chemical imbalance, something sciencey in your head.
Right.
But it might be also you just need guidance to help this kind of, when you get into situations again, how to help yourself be stronger, not depend on that person over and over, not rely on somebody else to make you feel fulfilled.
Exactly. Number 1.
There you go. Last but not least on this list, blaming others for your problems. I don't know if I agree with this or disagree with this. I do agree. Like, again, it kind of goes to the first one. Like, don't rely on somebody else for your own fulfillment. Same thing when that person doesn't follow through. Don't blame your problems on that person.
Yeah.
But like, don't be dependent on somebody else. Yeah, I do agree with that. But sometimes your problems are related because somebody else's
That's a good point. That's a good point.
In the workplace, though, I feel like your problems is this person, the inefficiency of this other person, or because this other person doesn't have it together. That problem is not being transferred into me, or I have to work double to make sure this person's all right. And I feel like relationship wise, I don't agree. Like I agree with it relationship wise. Professional wise, I don't think I agree with this one. I feel like sometimes in the professional workplace, especially like with teamwork and all this stuff, sometimes I feel like this person's problem and somebody else's lack of whatever is your problem, unfortunately.
Execution.
Sometimes.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. And I think I follow and agree, because the main thing I'm looking at is I'm like, okay, I get what it means, but then I really like when I really want to understand it, I'm like really reading the context. It says don't blame others for your problems, which is a true statement, because they are your problems because they're in your brain. So basically all this is saying is don't blame other people for the shit that's going on up here, which makes sense, but I feel like the only exceptions would be obviously like abuse, like physical, rape, shit like that. I think at that point you have a right to blame those people. But I also think, like, that you brought up, which was a good point, is you were saying, I think from what you were saying that I was interpreting, was you were saying, I think what you're saying was that sometimes others are part of your problem. Yeah. So it's like, how can you not blame them?
Yeah.
I think the main thing to take from this, since we're like kind of in the same boat, I think the main thing they were trying to say was, don't project your shit onto other people, which I think would have been a better way to word that. Because I think blaming others for your problems is just way too vague.
So So unlearn how to project your problems onto others.
Yes, and I think that's a fair statement because
Yeah.
even if they're to blame, you're just keeping the shit going.
Mm-hmm.
You're perpetuating the crap
You're
to keep
enabling.
rolling. Exactly. And
Yeah.
yeah, you were wronged, but you're just creating more shit for yourself and for other people by keeping, the whole, like, take a stand, but to always blame others for certain issues, like we were saying, like obviously, like problem. That's why I don't get. I'm like, that's a funny way to, but that's why we talk about this and we break down these things because we don't always agree with them completely,
Yeah.
but we didn't make them, so it's cool to kind of put our twist on it.
No, and I think you there's several things that you said, not just on this one, but on the other one that I completely agree with you, and like I would love to follow up with. Like, yeah, if you are in a abusive relationship, yeah, you can definitely point that finger like, hey, you are making me feel this way
Uh-huh.
because of your physical abuse, your emotional abuse, blah blah blah, your control, whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah, you can blame him. You can blame him like, hey, this was going on, and at that point, I think it's fair to blame your issues on somebody else. Again, though, to take that stand though, and if you ever been, well, I mean,
Well, this is why I
on
think it refers back to the point before.
yeah, projecting.
No. Um, the last point refers back to the point before that.
Asking help.
Yes.
Asking for
So
help. Right?
I
Yeah.
agree with you because the people that are in these situations aren't going to be the people that are going to be their own Captain Save-A-Ho. So
Yeah.
they need to call in someone who can do that,
Great
or at
90s
least
reference, by the way.
you're welcome, or at least guide them in the
Yeah.
direction that someone could give them some advice, some therapy, someone to talk to, because abuse is just such a deep subject.
Yeah, and as a podcast, I think we can speak for. I can
We
speak
could
on your
we could do
behalf.
a whole
Also,
podcast on that.
we do not condone any sort of abuse in any sort of relationship. So
No.
if you think you might be, definitely look up the resource, look it up, get some help, reach out. Maybe you're not, maybe you're overreacting, or maybe you are. But you know what? Seek help, please,
Seek help.
please.
And if you don't want to call the hotline that I'll throw in our information this week,
We'll look it up for
at
you.
least reach out to a friend.
Yeah, we'll look it up for you.
The minimum. Well, yeah, it'll be on there, but at least reach out to someone you trust that maybe you can at least confide in and explain what's going on. Because sometimes it's not always life or death, but sometimes it's nice to get a perspective on your situation that isn't yours, and maybe that person can help you out in a way that gives you a clearer head going back into whatever you're dealing with. So
Absolutely, dude.
I think that's pretty solid.
You said something earlier also about avoiding how you feel. Um, and related to work.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love the point that you said that we sometimes spend more time at work than we do at actually home.
Yeah.
And I think living here in the Bay Area, I feel like that's 100% correct, because a lot of people, we have to commute to our workplace.
Yep.
And I say on an average, people commute between half an hour to an hour to their workplace every day.
Yeah.
So let's just say 1 hour, an hour to work, an hour back.
Yeah.
That's 2 hours a day of driving.
Mm-hmm.
That's 10 hours. That's a full that's 10 hours.
And that's
that
just
took away.
And that's just an 8-hour workday. That's 10 hours.
Yeah. And that's not taking into consideration like people who live like in Los Baños.
Mm-hmm.
Los Baños is a suburb of San. Well, not even a suburb. It's like completely different. Like,
it's
area.
not a suburb, dude. That's straight up valley.
Yeah, it's straight up something. It's like a different area.
If you're in a different county, it ain't a suburb. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Well, will you consider Hollister a suburb of San Jose?
Not really. I mean, I'd consider it a suburb of Gilroy. maybe,
Yeah, and
or
then
maybe
Gilbert is
of
like a
like,
suburb of San Jose.
yeah, but I don't think they're all suburbs of San Jose. Because I feel like
Yeah.
eventually you gotta cut that cord, dude. How they still like you're still saying you're attached to San Jose, you're all the way down in Hollister? Come on.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
ain't even the same type of living, dude.
you need to like yeah, you need to like listen, if it's a different area code, you're not a suburb.
Oh, you mean zip.
No, area code.
Well, area code is a tough one though. Because area
Well,
codes are
no.
weird.
No. Well,
San
here's the thing.
Jose's got like 15 of them.
San Jose has two. So commentate with that one.
Oh no, you're
But,
right. You're right. You're right.
but like, okay, an East Bay area code, you're still in the East Bay. The water's still right there.
No. You're right. You're right. I don't know why I thought that. I am tripping. I didn't know. I was thinking the opposite. Zip codes are like that.
Yeah, well, zip code is there's a shitload of that.
I meant
yeah.
You're right. I meant area code. Thank you.
Because like Morgan Hill and even Gilroy still has the 408 669.
Hollister's not 408 though, huh?
No, they're 831.
That's what I'm saying. Once
And they're proud of it too.
hell yeah, dude. Every area code. But that's what I'm saying too, like for sure. Like, cause I'm 209 out here.
Yeah. That's
So,
Central Val.
I'm Valley, but
Yeah.
that's why I laugh when Stockton tries to be Bay. I'm like, you ain't Bay. Just because you got
Bay.
stabbings, you ain't Bay.
Just because the river that goes through your city goes to the Bay.
Just because you have a hockey team doesn't mean you're Bay.
They have a hockey team?
They do.
Oh.
They're actually the farm team for, I want to say, the Calgary Flames. The
Really?
Stockton Heat. Yes, they used to be formerly the Stockton Thunder. I think they were a AA hockey team, and now they're AAA. It is a different group of people. Fun little story, when I went to like 5 or 6 years ago, when me and Steph and my buddy Dover went to a Stockton Thunder game, those dudes couldn't even ice skate. There were moments where I felt like I was watching the Mighty Ducks, dude. Like, there were moments where these dudes were falling while they were skating. Like, no one hit them. I'm like, I even looked at my buddy. I'm like, they're tripping on their own fucking skates. And then like a year later, they left, and then they got a new, like I said, AAA farm team for Calgary, which is cool because I think the San Jose's farm team is, I think it's in Canada or something. It's something weird. It's weird. It's not like how baseball does it. Baseball, I think, is a little more proximity.
Yeah.
Because I think the Giants farm team is Sacramento.
Well, they have San Jose, and then they have like Sacramento.
Oh no, the A's are I think the A's are Sacramento. Right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Or is it Modesto?
No, Modesto. But I don't know if the Modesto A's are even connected to the Athletics.
I know. I
think Oakland is its own farm team because they farm their own players out to everyone else anyway.
That's absolutely true. God damn Oakland. And can we stay in Oakland, please, for a little?
We still don't know, and we still don't know.
That's a different.
I read it.
That'll be a whole different episode for that.
But anyway, area codes, dude. Yeah, I mean, dude, even growing up, we're like 408. You know, 916.
I had it in the belt buckle that lit up.
You did. And I think that was the one where we took that infamous picture from Sounds of the Underground. No, Taste of Chaos.
Taste of Chaos.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll see me. I want to say moshing because it sounds cooler, but no, it was hardcore dancing.
Scarface shirt and your 408 belt buckle.
That lit up, and I'm out there fucking doing windmills and fucking scissor kicks in the freaking pit, and then I have a fucking belt buckle that says 408 lighting up.
Man,
super tight pants and shit. Oh, great time.
If there's anything you need to know about us, is we keep it real, people. You know,
we're OG gangsters.
You know what we're about. You know how we do. And if you don't, now you do know. No, I'm just kidding.
Now you know.
Now you know. But
I think before if you guys want to check out this list of habits, unlearning habits, is on the IG handle is Brain Body Doc. So Brain Body and then DOC at the end, all one word. So check it out. See what you guys think about this. Tell us your opinion. But I feel like it's a pretty solid list, and it's like it sounds so like duh right now, but it's things that we see I think it's things that we know now that we're older
Yeah.
than, when we were 20. But then again, dude, I mean, when you're in your 20s and somebody's trying to give you like this fucking list, you're going to be like, oh, this is fucking dumb. You ain't got to freaking pay attention to it.
It's going to be kind of like that, but if you got this list in high school, you would have crumpled it up and threw it in the trash can. I would have.
Why?
I would have.
And you know why? Because we weren't ready to get that help.
We weren't ready to get the help. We wanted to get drunk. We wanted to hang out.
Yeah.
Screw the man. I still kind of feel that way.
Yeah.
But no, dude. But as I've gotten older too, I've realized the value of like guidance and mentorship because, we're so like cocky, but it's fun to put that guard down and learn more from people.
Yeah.
Because it's funny how much better and happy you are with the more you learn.
Yeah.
You don't cheat. Don't pull Bradley Cooper and take a pill. Then you go crazy. But if you do it the old way that takes 60 years, you're going to live a good, fruitful life, I think. I think that's what we're on the right path.
Yeah.
You just like everything else, dude, you're not going to see results right away. This ain't no chia pet, We got to we got to put some work into it, and it'll look way cooler than a fucking afro on a whatever the hell you bought.
Remember, man,
it's always an afro.
Life is not a race, it's a journey, bro.
It's the journey, man.
Vaya con Dios, amigo.
It's the trip, man.
It's all about the ride, bro.
We trippy, man. Yeah, it turned from hippie to Juicy J real quick. Hippie J. But yeah, I think if we work on those habits to, combat our silliness, I think we'll be a lot less sad about things and a lot more controlled with our relationships. We'll feel like we're a lot more in control.
Yeah.
I feel like all these people will feel lost because I don't think they're in touch with themselves,
And I think that's what at the end of the day, that's what we thrive for, more control of ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And be, that way we can be more accountable because if we understand what we're doing, there's not going to be this whole like, what do you mean? It's going to be like, oh yeah, sorry about that. And then we'll move on and it'll be focusing more on solutions rather than just ongoing problem regurgitation,
Solutions, man. I think that's a key word right there. It's finding solutions, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody wants a quick fix, but nobody wants to like solve it to make it go away.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Be like, hey, let's pass the buck or let's finish it so no one else has to do it.
Exactly.
And then we could do this with other things. I think we need to have more of that mentality, like finish the job. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just being like, oh, I'm done with my 8 hours, union break. No.
Yeah.
Let's do this shit and be done with it.
Yeah. It has to be done. Like, I think, like, dude, like, you work in like a delivery warehouse type of environment. I also did it when I was a delivery guy where like, okay, I'm about to like take my lunch right now.
Uh-huh.
And then like all these orders come in and they're like, well, I can either go on my lunch right now and trip out and not even enjoy my lunch because I have to worry about all this work that has to be done, or
Right.
I can just knock this out right now and not have to worry about it later. Because at the end of the day, it has to be done.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to have to be done by the end of the day. Rather do it now than do it later.
Exactly. And then you're happier. You can focus more on your relaxing time, and then when you're all ready to go when you need to do it. So it's just less stress all around. You're not stressing about taking that break. You're not stressing about the next step you got to deal with on that task or that project. It's just so much better to just handle it and be ready.
Yeah.
And we're gonna handle you and be ready for next week. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know how inappropriate that sounded, but we're wrapping it up this week. We want to thank you guys for checking us out. Hopefully these habits we can unlearn together and work on this for a better mental health for everybody. Mm-hmm. And tune in next week. The theme changes constantly, so I'm not even going to allude to what we have, but we do have a theme, and it should be a pretty good one. And we'll let you know during the week about little hints. Until then, thanks for your time, guys, and we'll see you next week. Later.